Welcome back, you gamers, to another Gamer Jooce episode. You know we always get straight on into the content, and it is no different today. Number 10. How to sabotage like a pro. As we know, 1 to 3 players will be imposters. Imposters look identical to everyone else. This role requires players to try to eliminate the crewmates and sabotage them. Sabotage is just as important as killing crewmates. Sabotaging prolongs the crewmates' time on the map and stops them from leaving. You can put barriers that will help you kill crewmates more easily. So balance your time on the map strategically by sabotaging whenever possible. If you're about to kill a crewmate, shut the doors first. This will not only decrease your chance of getting caught, but it also enables you to lock the crewmates in with you to avoid them leaving. A closed door can give you a precious few seconds that allow you to make a quick and clean getaway if you need to. Another swift getaway is available in the form of escaping through the vents, but those can also be tricky. Stay tuned for our advice on vents. Taking out the lights also completely blindsides the competition, especially if there are only a numbered amount of players left that you haven't eliminated yet. Number 9. How to shake off suspicion. A general rule of thumb is to try to blend in as much as possible. That means to look like you're completing a task. Stand by computers, the engines, etc. Bonus points if you already have a few tasks on standby in your mind that you can claim you've been doing. Even though you can't fake visual tasks, being familiar with the task goes a long way in shaking off doubt about you. Don't suspiciously follow crewmates around or wander around looking for your next victim. Engage in the heated discussions that ensue when a dead body is found. Act clueless and ask questions. Remember, remaining silent is basically admitting you're the imposter. And if Lady Luck is smiling down on you and the group vehemently believes they've figured out who's the imposter, agree like your life depends on it. Number 8. Be smart. That sounds like a given, but hear us out. It's a human instinct to lash out when you feel cornered. In addition to acting like a crew member, use logic to drive the discussion to your advantage. Don't get defensive. Instead, if you're accused, don't panic. Instead of saying shady phrases that no one will believe, like "trust me," or randomly accusing other players, be sure to watch out for that, as you never know if that random player has an alibi or not. No, you want to make them question their reasoning. Find holes in their argument. And if you survive being accused and the game continues for you, don't hold a grudge against those who tried to vote you off. Or at least, don't go into instant kill mode. There's nothing more suspicious than a person unsuccessfully trying to vote you out and then mysteriously getting killed immediately. Number 7. Tricks to using vents. One of the major advantages of being an imposter can work against you just as much. It's the imposter-only ability to travel through the vents, which are the small gray grills on the floor. This mode of travel gets you around the map much faster than the other players, and if the opportunity presents itself, can get you an easy kill. Some of the maps have an easier venting system than others, like on Mira HQ. You can use vents to bid your time as you plan your next move, and which room you want to travel to next. However, keep in mind that while you're using the vents, you're out of sight, and that means your sabotage and kill cooldowns will be paused during that time. Remember that disadvantage regarding the vents? You could get caught by players if they notice you're moving too fast, or if you come out of a vent and get caught red-handed by a crewmate. Number 6. All is fair in love and war. Our last piece towards imposters is a little untraditional, but all is fair in love and war, right? If push comes to shove and accusations are thrown out there, everyone who's ever played Among Us knows how heated the chat gets. If you feel like you're about to get caught, and you know who your fellow imposter or imposters are, don't shy away from throwing them under the metaphorical bus. Blending in is key, and throwing out accusations like the rest of them is sometimes the only way you can survive. Sometimes it's the other imposter's fault. They might get caught in the middle of a suspicious activity or do something so incredibly damning that you have no choice but to save face. You'll both get the win anyway if the imposters win, even if one of you is ejected out into the numbing space, so no hard feelings. Number 5, the partner system. Now on to tips and tricks for the crewmates. As a crewmate, your role is the opposite of an imposter. You have to focus on finishing tasks and trying to weed out the imposters and successfully eliminate them before one of them eliminates you. As a crewmate, you have 2 abilities: use and report. Use is the way you interact with everything in the game, and report is the button you push when you stumble upon a dead crewmate. The first word of advice to help you win Among Us is to establish a buddy system. It's important to know who your enemies are, but knowing your friends is sometimes more important. So pick a partner that can protect you from being ambushed on your own and will vouch for you if accusations are ever thrown your way. Being on your own makes you stand out and vulnerable to being picked off. Another benefit of having a trustworthy partner is the kill countdown system that imposters are cursed with, which means that imposters can't kill 2 crewmates without outing themselves. So if an imposter wants to kill one of you, they'll have to reveal themselves to the other person in the pair. Your partner can also provide an alibi for you when a dead body is found. One last piece of advice regarding the buddy system is to try not to get caught in a group of 3. You never know if the other 2 are the imposters. Number 4, don't report dead bodies right away. It's inevitable that you will stumble upon a dead body sometime during Among Us. That's why the report button is there. But keep in mind that you can still gather information before sounding the alarm. This allows you to discover invaluable information, like finding the culprit escaping the scene or through the vents. You can always report the dead body afterward, and if you're not the one to find it, ask many questions like where was the body found, and vouch for other players that you were with if you know that they are innocent. Number 3, don't be passive. Watching out for sabotages is a tricky business. You never know when you're walking into a trap and an imposter is waiting. Imposters, if you're still watching, this is a great way to pick off stragglers. Crewmates tend to panic when an event like the oxygen being cut off occurs. As a crewmate, watch out for the arrows that appear on your map during events like the reactor and the O2 events. You'll have to rush to the sabotage room to fix whatever the imposters broke. Try to work swiftly alongside your fellow crewmates to fix the malfunctioning equipment. You can't do much when the doors are closed but wait for them to open again, but you can fix the lights. Passivity also includes not participating in discussions as to whom the imposter is. Again, you need to give the information you have lest you get accused yourself. Number 2, worst case scenario. At number 2, we have all our bases covered. What about life after death? It's known that imposters are physically incapable of performing tasks, so watch out for anyone who looks like they're finishing a task. You do that by watching the taskbar in the upper left corner. If after that person leaves, that taskbar hasn't increased, they're probably an imposter. Now, the worst has happened. You've been caught off guard. Maybe it was a complete attack by a sneaky and skillful imposter. Or maybe you figured out who the imposter was, and you've been attacked during those precious few moments before the animation for an emergency meeting appears. So what to do if you're killed? You can still finish your tasks and be useful for your team. As a ghost, you can travel through walls and have unlimited vision and will be able to see through walls and power outages. Number 1, your guide to maps. At number 1, we have the ultimate tip and trick. To master Among Us, you need to get a good grasp and understanding of how the map works. There are currently 3 maps in Among Us, and each requires a different strategy. First up, we have the spaceship map, the Skeld. Out of the 3, we'd say the odds of crewmates winning are better here due to the large number of visual tasks and the easy navigation. The Mira HQ map is the smallest map with a total of 12 rooms. It lets crewmates monitor the other players' movements around the station through the door logs. This way, You'll be able to recognize when a potential imposter is acting suspiciously, like moving way too quickly. That means they could be using the vents to travel through the ship. There are also no doors to lock. However, there is only one visual task and a tricky decontamination corridor which will close temporarily when entered. The Polis map has 15 rooms, and the helpful vitals kiosk that reveals which players are alive or dead. It features 3 sabotage locations and closed doors. As a crewmate, it's better to stick to the lower right corner to avoid those spots. You can also open a closed door. Cameras have a live security feed. Crewmates, you can watch out for suspicious activity, and imposters, you need to actively avoid that red blinking dot. So do routine checks on those stations to not only keep an eye out for imposters, but to also notice a dead body before other crewmates notice them. Alrighty gamers, we hope you enjoyed the list because that's going to wrap it up. If you did in fact watch the video all the way through, we appreciate you so much, and hope you enjoyed it enough to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because we're always releasing more content. As always, we'll see you in the next one.